Hello everyone, welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. I'm going to do something I haven't done before. This is going to be what you can do to move on. So I'm going to do a 3-card pile. The first pile is going to be with the Druid Craft. You can see it here. The second pile is going to be with, oh gosh, what is it called? Mythology Tarot? The Mythic Tarot. It's going to be with the Mythic Tarot. That's the back of it. You can see that pile here. And the third pile is going to be with the Aquarian Tarot. You can see what the back looks like there. So you can pick a pile, either 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to start reading from pile 1. Let's move those aside. Okay, so first off we have the Page of Pentacles. This is talking about, pages talk about new beginnings, about messages, fresh starts. They talk about the thinking process and the studying process before you start a journey, before you start something new. And the pentacles have to do with things here in the physical world. So they have to do with your physical body, your health. They have to do with your career and finances, which leads to physical possessions like houses, cars. So the pentacles, you're thinking about your pentacles. So this is how you can move on from whatever you need to move on. You can think about it first in a very practical, physical way. Now these didn't come out sideways, they just came out together. So we had 3 of them come out together. The 2 of Wands, the Chariot, and the 6 of Wands. So you're determined, you're using your willpower, and you want to have this victory. But it's the way that you define victory. You want to have, some people call this a card of fame and fortune, but to me it's just about a personal victory. Something that you want that's healthy for you, that you're passionate about, that you're trying to overcome. You're trying to find this doorway, this new path out of the dark forest into the light. And there's going to be like a little bit of an obstacle. It's going to be a little uphill climb. But you need to get that vision that you have for your life and start planning. Start using your willpower. Start getting yourself together. Getting your conscious and your unconscious mind on the same track with your soul. On the same path that you want to be on. You know, not giving into temptations and then being like, well, why did I do that? I have, buyer's remorse. Why did I buy this item? When you want to save or you want to get out of debt, you want to go on a fancy vacation somewhere nice and you're trying to save, but then you're like, okay, why did I buy that candy bar? I could have spent that $2 towards my vacation. So a lot of this is getting your willpower so that you can move forwards. And you're moving on from things that are out of balance, because we have the 6 of Pentacles here. There's things that are out of balance, whether it's your health or it's your career and finances. Physical things here in the world are out of balance, and you're really trying to get that balance back. We've got the Hangman and the 8 of Wands in the reverse. Now, the 8 of Wands in the reverse, it can talk about delay. It can talk about, things just not moving as fast as you want them to. So you're trying to move on, but it's just not happening. Or you keep feeling like there's a setback. There's a setback all the time, and it's really frustrating you. There might be mistakes or confusion. It could be that you're resisting change. Now with this Hangman here, he's telling you that you need to you need to work on giving up those old ideas, those old habits. You need to move forwards in order to make this a successful transition. You need to move forwards. So, you're working on this. Give yourself a little kindness, give yourself a little empathy. There's some discernment and realistic expectations that you need to have that you just aren't having, or you just aren't seeing yet. There's something you're not seeing. And it has to do with willpower, or it has to do with what you consider a victory. You might need to change your thinking around what a victory is. The hangman also gives something up to get something. So he not only gives up his old ideas and his time to think about what he's doing or what he wants to do. He's not just hanging around tied to a tree, right, upside down, letting that blood flow back into his brain. He's also sacrificing what he could be doing. So he could be collecting the harvest, but he's not. He's like, this is more important to me than this wheat harvest that's sitting there in the background in the picture. He's like, the wheat harvest is there and he's not harvesting it. So he's like, this is more important. This knowledge that I need to get, this change that I need to get is more important. And we have beautiful. Let me look in here from the Oracle deck. Beauty is far more than your outward physical appearance. The temple that houses and cares for you is really quite amazing. Safely stored inside is an endless wealth of thoughts, feelings, and heightened senses, all your very own. Beauty is found within one's soul. Be cautious about the facade. Many wear on their exterior shells. Look inside in the mirror of the soul to see true inner beauty. Care for your body and show it how grateful you are. Put yourself on a pedestal. You deserve to acknowledge and appreciate your own value. Yes, you are enough. Show your strength and continue to challenge yourself in growth. The reward will be fulfilling and your inner beauty will glow. Interesting. So, is this about health for you? Moving on in regards to something with your health and wanting to start this new journey. But there's some obstacles, and the biggest obstacle is the way that you're thinking around it. That's what causes the imbalance, the way that you're thinking around it. Excuse me. Your body is the temple for your soul. I hope this helps. Thank you, pile 1. Okay, pile 2. That's easier to flip over. Okay, 3 of Swords. And this 3 of Swords is quite interesting. Look, there's 2 people on one sword that doesn't have a person holding it, and they're stabbing him in the heart while he's taking a bath. Quite interesting. So where did the other person go? The other sword go? Or is the other person, swords are your thoughts. So your thoughts are, stabbing you in the heart, basically. Your thoughts are of negative things, uh, a bad situation that happened to you, something that needed to end, something that you're learning from and growing from. And it could be like a job, a friendship, it could be something like that. So this one is definitely about moving on from something that caused you a lot of negative thinking. Some people or places that cause you negative thinking. So these two came out together, the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So there is a new beginning, or there is potential for a new beginning in the way that you're thinking about a situation. And it has to do, pentacles have to do with your health. They have to do with career and finances, things here in the physical world. Career and finances lead to physical possessions like a house, a car, etc. So pentacles are anything here in the physical world. So there's this potential to change the way that you're thinking. So you're moving on, the situation had to end, and you're moving on from this heartbreak situation where you felt almost helpless, like there was nothing you could do to defend yourself. But you're calling in your abundance, you're calling in good health, you're calling in finances, a better career. You've got this Two of Swords in the reverse. So why aren't you making the decision to move on? Why aren't you making the decision to get a better life, to have that new beginning, to have that fresh start? Why aren't you taking that action towards that new beginning? There's one thing I want to look up for this. Why are you closing yourself off from your emotions due to vulnerability because of this heartbreak, but at the same time, that means your head is doing something different, or it's going in a different direction from your heart, so you're trying to weigh these options, but you've got all this fear, all this conflict, and a lot of it is because your head is going in a different direction from your heart. And notice there's two people there blocking him. Can I get that so it's not in the glare? There's two people blocking him, and he's just got his hands up to his ears, and he's just not listening. He's just not paying attention. And then we got the world. This world is twins, right? The world is having, it's like the magician, only you see the Ouroboros there. It's like the magician, and it's having everything that you need gathered up, all the tools that you need. It's having your physical, your emotional. Here, I'll turn it upright and move it closer. It's having your physical, your emotional, your mental, your swords, and your spiritual or your creative fire. It's having your passion. It's having it all connected. And if for some reason you're not, you need to be careful of taking shortcuts to get away from this emotional pain, or taking shortcuts when you're making decisions because you're not listening. Your head and your heart are going in two different directions, and you're not listening. You want to end this cycle, and you want to, to accomplish an end to your grief, right? But there is no shortcut to grief. There's no shortcut to dealing with grief. You deal with it in your own time, in your own way, and it doesn't matter if it's a large grief, like somebody you love dying, or if it's a small grief, like you used to love doing a particular sport and now you can't do that sport due to health issues, that sort of thing. Cat. Sorry, I hope you enjoy Cat. Cat is just playing around, having fun. So let's see. Soulful. And now you're going to purr, aren't you? Where'd that card go? Okay, soulful. Look at that beautiful little owl. Fluffy little owl. Your soul is a spiritual part of your being. Look closely into the mirror of your innermost existence, and you will find your deepest, rawest, most authentic thoughts and feelings. Each memory and experience that is part of your soul is safely tucked away inside of you. Like the sparks in your soul, be careful. Let your colors dance wildly around you. Dig deep, and your garden will flourish and bloom endlessly. Your own soul journey is very personal. Protect your internal soulful powers. You are the keeper of them. Remember, you are a wondrous, soulful being who knows you best of all. And the intention is to let your magical light glow around you. Yeah, that's beautiful. So, yeah, you grieve in your own time, okay? Now let's do pile 3. Okay. Pile 3, we have 8 of Wands, 6 of Swords. So this is about fast action. You're trying to move on. There's some fast action happening, or it's going to happen. This can also talk about needing to balance your actions. Other decks, this is a javelin thrower throwing the javelin, and they need to, in order to hit the target, they need to be on balance. There's a certain way that they move when they're throwing to throw the javelin through the air so that it hits the target they want it to hit. So it's balanced action. Not being too passionate and being overwhelmed by your passion. 6 of Swords is talking about moving to a better place. You're in this transitionary period in your thinking where you're getting control over your emotions, you're getting control over your thoughts, and you're moving to a better place mentally and emotionally. You're transitioning away from something negative. Prince of Cups, or is this 9 of Cups? 9 of Cups, sorry. 9 of Cups in the reverse. So yeah, that's that negative emotional state where you just weren't happy. You weren't happy with your life. You weren't happy with yourself. You didn't know how to find your satisfaction. It could have been overindulgence, particularly in alcohol because of the cups. But there could have been some overindulgence. And these two came out together, the Chariot and the Page of Swords. So this is about willpower. It's about getting your conscious and your unconscious on the same level in order to move forward, in order to use your willpower. You're really thinking about things from different perspectives, different angles, studying the way that you think. And it has to be about the way that you think about yourself and the way that you think about what brings you emotional satisfaction, what makes you happy and what isn't bringing you emotional satisfaction, what isn't making you happy. Okay, you're thinking about it before you take action, and you're using your willpower. Once you do take action, you're letting go of those obstacles to moving forward. And then we have the star. That's your healing. That's your wish come true, your dream. That's your ability to be back in the flow of life, to see the beauty in life again, to see the beauty in things. So a lot of it has to do with your thinking and your emotions around what brings you the satisfaction. How you're going to move on has to do with getting your emotions and your thoughts on the same page. And then we had breathe for the oracle card. Breathe. Embrace, search, draw in. Breathe in calmness, breathe out anxiety, breathe in serenity, breathe out chaos. Breathe in tranquility, breathe out tension. Breathe in all that is healthy for your greater good. Breathe out your feelings of heaviness and woe. Grant yourself a moment of solitude and a calm and peaceful environment. Meditate on higher vibrational energies. Try doing this on a daily basis. You owe it to yourself and your own well-being. You will begin to think with more clarity, and positive energy will flow freely throughout your being. Release and unbind any negative energy taking up residence inside of you. Breathe in peace, love, and light. I was reading something about meditating and how it increases the corpus callosum, which is between the two hemispheres of the brain, so that they connect better and they act better together and balance together, instead of being like separate and maybe one is a little more dominant than the other per se. They connect better, and you can grow that corpus callosum so that your brain, it gets bigger and it acts better. And you do that through meditating, because your brain is like any other muscle in your body. It needs to be exercised, it needs to be moved, it needs to be active. So for you to move on, it's a lot of looking at what makes you satisfied, what brings you pleasure, and being honest with yourself and getting yourself in balance so you can drop that baggage, so you can see things differently, and you can start planning your actions and move on. Take care.